Hey everyone, I just wanted to do a quick little detailed review of the Scream 1. It's a nice little informative review for anybody interested in buying it. There's a lot of, like troll reviews out there and shill reviews, whatever, for the mouse, so I just wanted to give some good detailed insight from somebody that, just knows a thing or two about it. It's actually, I've got several 3360 mice, so I was excited to get a hold of one. This is the second edition, so this one's updated, and I'll get into what that means in a second. But I'll just start off going over, the shape and some of the hardware aspects of it. Let's just get down to business. The mouse, click-wise, we'll start side buttons, I guess. Side buttons are really, really great. Honestly, I'd say one of the best side buttons. There's no travel on the side buttons, and the switches, as you can hear, I'll just try and get you an idea of the actuation. Easily spammable. They're not Omrons, I don't think. They're like, I think they're Juanas, possibly, but the same feel. And like, there's no travel. As soon as I hit it, boom, it's in. Good size on them too. Compared to like 403, Death Adder. I would say this and like the Death Adder Chromas probably have the best side buttons. Other than that, those two mice kind of blow everything away in terms of side buttons. I mean, Zowie side buttons are decent too, but side buttons on this are definitely great. 9 out of 10 probably. Let's go to the main mouse buttons. Once again, surprisingly really good. You can hear the actuation there. There's no pre-travel. As soon as I click, I was pleasantly surprised by these buttons, especially I would say like they're just up there with Logitech buttons. Let me pull out the 30. I got a 303 here. Just to give you an idea, like these are good clicks too. Honestly, like I've kind of grown to prefer the Scream 1 clicks just because like there's more travel. There's no pre-travel, but there's just more travel to play with. So when you have more room to play with, like you can just kind of like, if you want a quick scope or something like that in CS, you can hear. I mean, these are fine. It's just if you're going from this to this, like you kind of notice it's harder to do some stuff on the 303 just because there's not as much play. The clicks are excellent. They got the spring tension system, the Logitechs. They feel amazing, but you just don't have as much room to work with on the Scream 1. I just kind of noticed I started liking that better. Like you just can go so far in, but there's no click travel, so you still get that instant actuation, and the clicks are still the Omron 20 million lifetime clicks. So I'd once again say that the Mouse 1, Mouse 2 are pretty excellent. 9 out of 10 probably. DPI button, I don't know, fairly standard. Mouse wheel, mouse wheel's average, I'd say. It's like, it feels kind of cheap. It does the job. It's light, which Finalmouse said is, good for bunny hopping. I personally prefer that. You can feel or hear. It's like just higher quality. You could run into QC issues on this too. There's a lot of complaints about mouse wheel doing stupid shit on the Scream 1. Click on it is fine, but performance, it's fine. I mean, it actually is really nice to use in game. But the quality is just kind of lacking, so it might be a trade-off. Some people might like it, some people might not, but it's definitely you can just hear it's light. Maybe not cheap, it's just super light. Like you can hear You can hear that. You can hear the steps on the 303. So overall hardware, well, let's look at the bottom for a second too. Teflon skates. I didn't like them at first because when you first get it, they're not worn in, so they're like really raised, and that gave some resistance. But once I used them in, they actually became a lot better. But overall, they're not the best you're gonna find. I do like the 4 individual though. I think that's the way to go. I mean, every mouse is different. I think the positioning of them is good. The shape of the feet are just kind of, I don't know, they're a little counterintuitive having sharp feet, but once they wear in, they're actually not too bad. So I'd say, average to maybe a little above average skates on it. Shape wise, the shape's probably the best thing on this mouse. Well, I don't know, shape and performance, but the shape on this thing, it's unique, yet it looks like, just a basic mouse, right? Like it looks like it just could fit everybody's hand, and that's honestly what it does. Really basic shape, almost universal. Like I can fingertip it, I can claw it, I can palm it like this, I can do whatever the hell I want, and it's super comfortable. One of the best shapes out right now. It's ambi. It's an ambi shape, which means it's symmetrical, but just everything about it, like you got finger grooves, which are comfortable. You get that. It has a decent butt on it. The profile you can see, like, and you got subtle grooves here on the sides. It's something you just got to feel. If you're curious about it, like there's no other shape like it. There's shapes similar, like there's FK1, there's like all those Sensei shape clones, and some new 3360 mice like the Rebel and other things are similar, but they're just not the same, and you feel that once you get to play with them. And I would say the Scream 1 shape has an edge over a lot of those. For me particularly, I mean, I have probably like small to medium sized hands, and even I can like just go through every single grip, fingertip, claw, palm. Like I could palm like this, I could palm like this. I literally can transition to any grip on this and find it comfortable. And the sensor position is really nice. Like it's not directly in the middle. You can see, you kind of look at it, it's just slightly above middle. So if you're fingertipping especially, that's really nice. That's kind of what I do. Like maybe claw, like subtle claw, but mostly fingertip on this mouse. Sorry, video dropped out there for a second on the phone. But like I was saying, the shape is really good. I fingertip it, and with the forward sensor position, it's a dream for aiming. So hardware-wise, I think that's it, right? The shape, amazing. Well, the wire too. The wire, some people don't like a braided cable. Personally, the braided cable on this, it's actually one of the better ones. It's thin, and it's because it's stiffer. You can see it actually doesn't like lie flat or drag on the mouse pad. You can kind of raise it up and do whatever you want with it, and just kind of mold it to how you see fit, just because it is so stiff. And it's thin, which is nice. So I understand some people don't like braided, but in terms of braided cables, it is one of the nicer ones. But yeah, main thing is shape. The shape is amazing. Honestly, give the shape a 10 out of 10. So hardware wise, I haven't had any issues. I can't speak for people that get ones with like defects or whatever, but with my unit clicks, side buttons have been great. Teflon is kind of average. Wheel, meh. But the clicks and the shape, great. So let's get into performance. Has the 3360 sensor. A lot of you probably know that's the best sensor out right now. It's the same thing as the 3366. That's just Logitech's own version, or just kind of like unique number for it, but it's the same sensor. A lot of mice coming out with this sensor nowadays, but they don't all perform the same. Like I've noticed that responsiveness wise, Logitech and the Scream 1 just feel way more snappy. Any Logitech mouse like the G403, G303 that I just had here next to me. I don't know where I put it. Anyways, feel way snappier. I ordered a Nexius Rebel and it felt really sluggish. And I didn't do any tests on sensor latency, only what I researched, and I saw a good video or a YouTuber that put out some good sensor latency tests, and on all his stuff, basically, like the Logitech mice and the Scream 1 had 0 ms sensor latency, and that's what Finalmouse advertises as well. So, and you feel that, you kind of feel that sensor responsiveness compared to other mice, at least. Like if you go from this to Logitech mouse, they both feel equally snappy, but when I went from this to like a Rebel, I could feel that kind of sluggishness. If I go from this to a 3310 sensor, I really feel like just that kind of lag. Like when you're just moving the cursor back and forth, you just feel like it's not going directly one-to-one with your motion. Like there's just that little bit of sluggishness that's there, and that's just because of sensor latency, and that could be like how the company did their program, their sensor or whatever. So sensor responsiveness, super snappy. Clicks, the click speed, click latency, that's what a lot of people are looking at nowadays too. The Scream 1 has been advertised, Finalmouse advertised their click latency and their sensor latency is the fastest out right now. I didn't do a click latency test myself, just watched or just researched a bunch of stuff on people who have, and it has been confirmed to have 0 ms debounce count. So what does that mean? That means like when you click it, there's no delay to when that click is going to be registered. The thing is, some people, this could be a bad thing if you have a switch that isn't perfect. Like if you have a bad switch, you could get double clicks because of this. Or double clicks could arise over time faster as well. So this could be a bad thing, but performance-wise, obviously it's a good thing. So you're getting the fastest clicks on the Scream 1, and you're getting basically the fastest sensor responsiveness together. And then combined with the fact that it's super, super lightweight. I mean, this is lighter, is by far the lightest mouse. Like, there's just no denying that. Like, I haven't weighed it, but you can just feel it. Even with the other lightweight 3360 mouse, the Rebel that I had, it's even lighter than that. It's lighter than all the Logitechs. It's lighter than this Owies. I mean, this thing's just like, you can just kind of see it. Like, you can even see in video, just like so light. Which makes a difference in performance, because like, imagine if you just have a super heavy mouse, it's going to take longer for it to, begin moving. That inertia to start movement is going to be different. So that lightweight nature combined with the sensor responsiveness and the click latency makes the performance of the mouse pretty nasty. Whether that justifies the price is what kind of I'll get into here in a second, but performance wise it's good, and you're going to be able to switch from 400, 800, 1600, 3200 DPI with that button. There's no drivers. They do have firmware updates, and I'll get into that in a second. But yeah, performance-wise, it's great. I would say, it's the top performing mouse. If you take those three variables into what makes a good performing mouse: weight, sensor responsiveness, click latency, click responsiveness. It's yeah. I mean, on paper, nothing beats it. But now to get into some issues. Obviously, there were some bugs when this thing first came out, and it got a lot of hate because of that. You couldn't press multiple buttons at once, which is pretty hilarious. A lot of QC issues reported on it. like just people getting defects, having to return it. I haven't had any QC issues. I haven't had any QC issues whatsoever. I have had to update the mouse twice though, and this is the second edition. So I still had not a ghosting issue, but a side button issue. So I had to update that firmware once from Finalmouse website. I actually emailed their support, and then they told me to go to their website. But then I had to update a second time when they came out with another firmware update to fix a scroll wheel bug, because if you scroll too fast, it would kind of reverse and scroll up, which is kind of funny. But I didn't notice it in game. I noticed it just because I was reading about the mouse, and then I went to play with it. And I noticed, oh wow, like when I do scroll really fast, it does that. But so I had to update the firmware twice. So obviously there have been issues. At this point, the issues have pretty much been resolved. But as of this video, the price is still pretty crazy. I paid full price $80 on the mouse. Whether you can justify the price that's up to you. Like I said, you're getting what I would say is the top performing mouse right now, if you like the shape, which most people should. But that little sacrifice, like in that little bit of sensor responsiveness or that little bit of click latency, is that worth literally double the price of what some other options are? I don't know. That's kind of the question with this mouse. You do have a warranty. You have a 3-year warranty on it. I haven't had any issues with support. When I emailed for my side button kind of ghosting bug that I had, even with the second edition, I got a pretty quick response. But in terms of RMAs or whatever, if you have a defect or if you have something going on, you would hope that that would be taken care of, especially given that it's an $80 mouse. So yeah, those are my 2 cents on it. In game, obviously, like, it's great. I have nothing bad to say about the mouse in terms of how it performs. The shape is great, the clicks are great, the performance is great. It's just whether or not you can justify that price point for the Scream 1, and I'm sure the Scream branding has a part to do with that. So that's it for this video. If you're kind of hesitant, like you want to feel the performance of the mouse, maybe wait till the price drops, or if it doesn't bother you, go for it. But that's it. Hope you guys got some good information out of it. Good luck.